we're live. Welcome. So glad to see you're back, Ray. Now we can be the nerdy phase with Ray and Serge. I still don't like you being first, but it flows better. Um, we got Tom with us again. He did such a great job last week. He decided to come on. He might be more of a permanent time. We'll see.
We'll see.
Depending on the subject, he might not want to talk on everything. So,
However, though, I think I kind of like the Surgeon Ray, like a nice hard Surgeon Ray.
yeah, I mean, I already mark it as Ray and Surge, but
That's fair,
it's fine.
Give
It's
my
fine.
input.
So, um, man, there's a lot going on. So last week we talked about the game of the years. We're not going to go in as in depth we did, but Ray, what did you, did you listen to last week's episode at all?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So as far as game of the year, we're just gonna touch on that. What do you think about the game of the year ones, the ones that are nominated for? Do you remember?
I don't remember. What were they?
Okay.
Refresh me.
The first one was Alan Wake. Alan Wake 2.
Boom.
Right. Super Mario Brothers Wonder was another one. Marvel Spider-Man 2. Baldur's Gate 3. And the Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. So out of those titles right there, what's your opinion? What do you think is going to win Game of the Year?
They're all pretty dookie. I mean, you got Legend of Zelda, which, I mean, come on. Yeah, man. That's game's older than dirt. That game needs to be gone.
Tears of the Kingdom, it's a classic.
Yeah, but we talked about it on the first time. I don't think that either remakes or continuations should be awarded Game of the Year, because if they had all those
Resident
years
Evil
previous,
4. Thank you.
If they had all those years
was on
previous to that and they weren't able to do it, then why do they get a chance again?
Resident Evil 4 remake was on there, so everything on this list is either sequel or continuation. So you're saying none of these should qualify?
Nope. That's bull. There's no reason why continuations should ever qualify.
I mean, I could understand how Tears of the Kingdom wouldn't be on there just due to the fact that it was, all they did was just add two more layers to the map, and they redid some stuff. Like, don't get me wrong, love the game. Like, I think out of all the games on the list, it would be my game of the year. But I can understand using your logic how that one is. And Alan Wake 2, that's a completely new game. Also, I would say the Mario Wonder would also be a completely, totally new game. I haven't played the Spider-Mans, but I assume they are not using the exact same map, or are they?
So, I did. It's the same map, yeah. So the take I had last week, I'm gonna add on to that. So one of the other reasons I don't like about this, because in this one, the main, there's only one person that's the whole main villain, overarching until you get to the very end, which is Venom. Everybody knows that. But I felt like in the first one, the first Spider-Man, you had all the other villains like Doc Ock. You had the Shocker, the Lizard, the Vulture, Scorpion. You fought more of the classic Spider-Man villains, while this one,
Shocker.
The Shocker.
Remember, kids, why Shocker when you can Spocker?
But this one you just don't. You just fight the main person. I'm gonna reveal it. I really don't care if the main villain is Kraven the Hunter, and Kraven all he wants to do is hunt. So, you fight the Lizard and Kraven, and then you don't really fight anything really iconic. Which, you fight his shields, but they're still like regular enemies. So that was my other thing that I didn't mention, but I didn't really like that. So, but anyways, we'll move on from that. So Ray, you really don't think any of those titles should be Game of the Year? If you had to pick one that's gonna be Game of the Year, which one do you think is gonna be?
Yeah, gun to your head answer.
Love that kind of answer. There's so many good ones out there that were released this year. Oh. If I had to pick one of the ones that are on the list or like my own?
Both.
On the list.
On the
List
list,
first, your option after.
it'd have to be Spider-Man. I think Spider-Man, just what they did with the graphics alone. I mean, I think it's wrong that they made, in order to get a new Spider-Man, like to get the actual OG Spider-Man instead of, or Miles Morales, you gotta pay extra. But other than that, it's pretty cool.
That's
No,
pretty
you don't
cool.
have to pay extra for it.
We do.
What do you mean? You're talking about the Miles Morales game.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
which is
the
basically the
Miles.
same thing.
Yeah, the Miles Morales
You know
game
what I'm saying?
it was DLC, but they decided to make a whole game for it.
Exactly, and I hate when games do that. I hate when games make
So
something like. That's why I can't play Modern Warfare. Modern Warfare has been doing that for so long. They just did it again.
Yeah, I feel
yeah,
like that was Tears of the Kingdom too. Oh shit! Keep turning my mic off.
Yeah, it's the same thing with Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah.
So what do you think should have made it? Tom and I thought Hogwarts should have been on there.
Hogwarts?
Hogwarts
No.
Legacy.
Hogwarts was too glitchy and still is glitchy. And plus, you didn't really get to do everything that you thought you were going to do on it, so it's not really game of the year. But I know it's a little older, but either Elden Ring for sure should have been
Well,
up there again. I
Elden
know it
Ring
would have
was
been a
Never
great
game.
should have.
continue.
That was last year's, right?
I know.
Elden Ring was
That's what I'm saying.
2022 Game of the Year. So Elden Ring won.
Yeah, but it should have
So
been again.
again,
Or what
no,
is it?
why? It didn't came on. It didn't come on 2023. So why would it?
Yeah,
Why would they go for it again?
they should. What
So
games came out this year? I can't even remember what games came out this year.
there's been
We
a
had so
lot
many.
that's come out this year.
What new ones though? Besides,
Um, Spider-Man 2. You had Starfield. But you don't have Xbox, so you would know anything about that.
actually, I know a lot about Starfield because I really dig it. I forgot that came out this year though. I wish Stargate had been on there because from what it looks like from the gameplay I've watched, it looks really
Starfield.
clean. Yeah, it
Okay,
looks really clean.
Stargate's a
Like,
different thing.
no, the one where is it? Where you're like a space pirate? Is it Stargate or Starfield? Which one is that?
Stargate.
Starfield.
Starfield. Oh shit! You guys got me fucked up. Starfield.
See, he's
Yeah.
confused me too. Starfield. So Starfield, that one, I really, really dig that one. It is so cool. Like you get to board people's ships and fight them, and then take their loot and dip out while you're building your own ship. And the only complaint that people had was like the area that you could go on the planet wasn't as massive as they originally said it was. But I mean, Destiny 2, you should have been prepped for that.
So
Destiny 2 is the same way.
I would say the other thing is just like it's kind of the same. I mean, as a lot of Bethesda's games, there's a lot of doing the same thing over and over again, and it's kind of hard to beat the game because there's so many other things you could be doing. So it gets a little repetitive, but I having fun playing it. I haven't gotten too terribly far, but I've had fun playing it thus far. But I could see how, you know, 40 to 80 hours in, I'm going to be like, come on, give me something new.
People would
I
say that, but Destiny 2, they release something like once every 3 years, and it's still alive. I still play it.
that's Destiny sucks. That's a hot
Oh,
take, I'm sure, but I'm over the Destiny phase. Um, Here's my thing with Starfield. Okay, I I gave it the old college try. I did download it because it was free on Xbox Game Pass. If it's on Xbox Game Pass, I'm gonna download it. Right. I got 30 hours in. I felt like I progressed nowhere, and the characters were just so boring and bland. Probably the coolest thing I did was like I heard that you had to upgrade your ship in order to progress and beat the game. So then I waited. I was like in this spaceport. I was like looking up and I saw ships where they were dropping. And I finally heard the ship and it dropped down and they were just like, "Oh hey, yeah, we're just here from a different planet." I'm like, "Oh cool, yeah, nice to meet you." And I go into their ship and then hijack it. Okay, they don't say anything. You leave. Then I see like a number. My bounty increased by 1,000. Then when I land on this planet, I got attacked by a bounty hunter, which I killed in 3 hits, which is cool, and I took his armor. But that was about the coolest thing I did. I mean, I tried taking over a Federation ship. It did not go well for me. So that's the only thing. That was another thing I didn't really like about the game. Like you can't just like in Elder Scrolls, I can lead someone down the dark alley and be like, "Hey, come on, come on, come on," and you just kill them, right? And then no one sees you. You're good, right? Here, you shoot, you lead someone down. Everyone sees you, no matter what you do. And next thing you know, you're fighting the entire city.
Is that
So
not more realistic though? You can't lead someone down a dark alley, shoot them with a loud blaster, and expect no one to know.
I guess, but still, I mean, that's what I did on Elder Scrolls. At least Oblivion. I never played Skyrim. Sorry,
Skyrim's
we've
the best
determined.
one.
I know we've determined this before. So, but let's move on from this. Um, let's talk about what nerdy thing we've done this week. Let's see. Well, first off, we were gone for a week because of Thanksgiving. We had a Thanksgiving break. You guys have good Thanksgivings?
I had a lot of food. I didn't get
Me
enough
too.
video game time. Otherwise, it was
I
good.
only played one video game.
Yeah. I've been
Ray,
I
getting
what
did
back
about
a
you?
on.
bunch.
Been getting back on Door Kickers too. You guys ever play that game?
I have
No,
not.
I have not.
It's worth checking out. It's a tactical shooter. It's a top-down. Active. Did you guys ever play FTL?
No.
Yes, yeah, because you got me into that game. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that game is fucking addicting. But I would say so. If you enjoyed playing FTL, you should check out Door Kickers too. Controlled Pairs Gaming does a really good. He plays a lot of the levels, but I'm playing that. It's the only game that I really played during that. Either that or playing Halo with the kids. But yeah,
So okay. Um, let's see. So after I've returned, Spider-Man 2, I still haven't beat it. I did finish Ready Player One though, so we can cross off the list. Okay, I finished Ready Player One, and started Ready Player Two. So that's what I've been reading. I started that. Uh, it would be cool if they make it into a movie. They kind of did like some upgrades and stuff. Like the big thing is now he discovered something Holiday made. The Oasis now has an extra device only he has access to, where it's Sword Art Online pretty much. If you've seen Sword Art Online, it's he can feel everything. It's not like haptic. He actually feels like he's there. So I've only gotten I've only gotten through the first chapter or so, but so far that's what it's been. It's been interesting. I'm curious to see where it goes. I also did play Mario RPG, Super Mario RPG remake. Because originally it came out in 1996 for Super Nintendo. Um, it was made by Square Soft at the time, but now it's Square Enix. But they did Super Mario RPG Legend of the Seven Stars. It came out in 1996, and they remade it this year. It came out like the 17th. I'm gonna write an extensive review on it, but I'll tell a little bit about my opinion on it. Um, if you've never played it and you're going into it for the first time, I do want to really emphasize that. Yeah, you're gonna love it. It is a good game. Unfortunately, it is very short. You can finish the game because it's pretty straightforward. There's no um, there's not a whole lot to do, but you can finish the game in probably 20 hours. Maybe less. I mean, I finished it in 13 hours. Going through it. But it was one of my favorite RPGs as a child, as a kid in 1996. Um, so me going through it near the end of this one, I did get bored, but I'm like, I'm just gonna finish it for the sake of just to review it. I was really, at first I looked forward to playing it. Now the graphics on it, they are cool. The remake graphics compared to the original, they are cool. But combat wise, everything, it's super easy. Like super easy. Like even the like the optional bosses, I beat like four of them, like no problem. I'm like, okay, what's so hard about this? So if you're playing it for the first time, I would recommend it, especially if you've never played it in '96. So, but if you're not, so the other thing too, I've been watching some anime, um, catching up on a lot of them. I'm up to date on Jujutsu Kaisen. How about
Mm-hmm.
you, Ray? Did you see the latest
Uh,
episode? I'm
I I have, yeah.
I, I'm I I'm hoping I'm not gonna cry next episode because I about shed a tear. So
I don't know because the thing I use comes out with more than the thing you use. Like it comes out a little bit earlier. Like the day it drops in Japan is the day I get it, or Tokyo, whatever fucking area. But
I get it on Friday.
I get As far as I
It
know,
comes out Friday.
we can't talk about if we see the most thing, because if we talk about the most thing, then we're spoiling the most thing. But I think I get it sooner. We'll talk about that later, but I'm pretty sure I get it sooner.
Okay.
But either way, uh, because you said that you hope you don't cry the next episode. Well, the episode I watched, it was rough.
What the episode I watched was rough. Was it? Well, we'll discuss it later. But yeah,
Yeah.
Which anime is this again?
Jujutsu Kaisen right here. This is the movie.
Okay.
So it is a good movie. This movie takes place before the series, but overall it's good. I was very skeptical at first while watching it because you watch the first episode, I'm like, ugh, this is just like everything else. But then after episode 3, it just takes off. You know,
I'll have to
it's not
check
one
it
of those
out.
ones that you kind of have to like watch 40 episodes and like, oh, now it's good.
What is it
No,
on?
it takes off like episode 3.
Jujutsu Kaisen, and it was episode like 1 that it took off.
What
It had me
what is it
from the
streaming on?
Uh,
Anything and
I
everything.
think
It's
I
on
think HBO.
Netflix.
It's not on
Hulu.
Netflix.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not. It's not on Netflix. It's not on Hulu. No, I can tell you that. I think it's on
I
HBO Max. I'm not sure.
I don't have HBO.
I know it's on. I pay for Crunchyroll now, so I just get everything on there.
I need to
I
start
would
So-
using that again.
love to tell you what I use. I'll tell you after. I don't want people to start using it and then they change it. So I'll give you the
Yeah.
secret sauce afterwards, though.
I just pay for it. It's only $8 a month.
I miss
Crunchyroll.
pirating. I don't do that
So-
anymore, but man, I miss pirating.
Yeah, me too. My for love of wife, I don't pirate anymore. It really gives her anxiety, so she doesn't like it. So, you know,
I don't know what
it's worth
pirating
it.
is. I don't pirate either. I don't believe.
Yeah,
What do we-
you do.
Jujutsu Kaisen. No.
But anywho, so I watched that, and then like I did watch Scott Pilgrim Takes Off.
Yes. I finally
So-
I binged through that. So for anybody who hasn't watched it yet, I would recommend watching the movie again first, and then go watching the anime.
You don't have to read the manga because I never read the manga or the
I haven't
American
either.
comic book.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying.
I want
watch,
to,
watch the movie
but-
first because it lines up a lot more than you would expect, especially as far off the path as it goes as early on as it does. You think it's a completely new story. It's like, no, they're connected.
It was good. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I do agree with IGN on this one. 9 out of 10. It was really good. I also watched Captain Laserhawk, which was pretty good. So it's called Captain Laserhawk, a Blood Dragon remix.
Mhm.
It's loosely based off Far Cry Blood Dragon.
Loosely, but yeah.
Loosely, it's Ubisoft. That's what they call it. It's just Ubisoft advertising all their franchises.
Mhm.
Because in there they have this frog he's part of the Brotherhood, the Assassin Brotherhood. He's got a code. They also advertise one of their very cult classic games, Beyond Good and Evil. You see Jade and Paige in there. So
I saw Raymond in the trailer.
Raymond's in the trailer. Raymond's kind of cool. He's kind of a host, but he's a host, and then like later on, like something happens to him. I don't want to spoil anything, but then he's just like, "Fuck!" It's just like what? I was like, Raymond's a child's character, and he's sitting there. Like there's a part in the show where he's sitting there doing coke and drinking alcohol, and he's just like, dude, this is a kid's character. It's like imagine watching Mario do this. You're like, whoa, okay, childhood ruin right here.
Oh, trust
So
me, those videos exist.
It's not an official thing by Nintendo. We won't get into that, but it's not an official thing by Nintendo. This is an official Ubisoft thing that's happening.
I think that's going to be next on my list.
But it's on Netflix, Ray. I do recommend watching it. You would like it.
What'd you say it was
So-
called?
Captain Laserhawk.
Captain Laserhawk. Okay.
Yeah, it's very cyberpunky. Like, so did you play through any of the Far Cry games? Either one of you?
No.
Okay. So Far Cry 3, beat that, and then shortly after they came out with Blood Cry 3 Blood Dragon, which is just like an over-the-top, big buff cyborg men, people that just kill everything in front of them, and you're just playing one of those like 80s type characters, so it's all 80s music. It's kind of VHS-esque. in terms of like the cut scenes and everything that they go through. So there's blood dragons and just
Hmm.
Gatling. It's over the top, but because it's so over the top, it's worth checking out. I'd
The
say
show's
And
over the
just
top
for
too, though.
anyone who's listening, just in case they didn't hear it the first or second time, what was the name of that again?
Captain Laserhawk.
Yeah, Captain Laserhawk. Okay,
It's
just for
on
people.
Netflix. It's really good. I do recommend it. I mean, also started playing Liza P again. I haven't checked any. I haven't got any new games, but I went back to Liza P. Um, I highly recommend it if you like Dark Souls games. So Ray, you like Elden Ring, right? You might like Liza P.
Yes. So
oh,
You
Lies of P. I thought you said Liza, like Liza Minnelli.
no
No,
no
Lies
Lies
of
of
P.
P.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. It's your main character is Pinocchio. You're Pinocchio essentially,
Oh
and it's like
shit! I have seen that.
yeah, it's really really good. You could do. I'll go into a review, and it's my next game. As soon as I beat, I'm gonna review it. But you could go into stuff. I did some gameplay videos today, uh, and kind of talked about it. So we'll see.
as
What's your
far as the
YouTube channel
video
again? I
game,
need a sub to you.
What's that,
What's your
Ray?
YouTube channel? Oh, sorry.
Surge reviews, or I don't. It might be on the Surge Gaming reviews. I don't know which one. I'll send it to you.
No, I'm looking it up.
Just I know it's on my Instagram. Go to my Instagram, Surge Reviews, and you can click my link tree on my Instagram, and you can see all the stuff I have, including this podcast. So like and subscribe.
one
We'll
hell of
say
a
that again
plug there,
later.
buddy.
That's right.
When we're talking about
Um,
video games, there's a couple of things that are coming. At least I know on PlayStation that are pretty big. Um, if we're
oh,
talking about what we've gone to, that's what you're.
you know, not all of us can be up to date. I'm so
Well,
sorry,
they
Ray.
got. Well, here, let me inform you real quick. They have. So, Hawked is a game that I personally am very excited for. It actually dropped for PC, but it'll be coming back to PlayStation on the 7th. And I'm very excited for that because it's like a up to 3 of your friends and it's like a battle royale, but you're a treasure hunter. So you can either hunt down the other people or go after the treasures or go after the people that live on the island, like the NPCs that are in the game. And you're basically just trying to get loot, extract it, and escape or kill everybody else, be the last person alive.
Sounds
That one's
interesting.
about to redrop. I played the beta; it was amazing. I streamed it all on my channel, which is EIPEVLLI. It's I Love Pie spelled backwards forever. And on top of that, Aliens Fire Team Elite. I don't know if you guys have you guys ever played that one.
Yeah, that game is old school.
That game is
It
beautiful. They
it
remastered it.
came out. It came out a little bit ago.
So Aliens Fire Team
You're
Elite, they
behind the curve.
remastered it, and then they remat. Calm down. They redid it. They reboosted some of the graphics, and I
So,
just played it, and
oh,
it's
do you
awesome.
have it?
Yes, I play it a
Um,
lot. I've been playing it a lot. I'm level 9. I've
okay,
also been streaming that one, live stream
okay,
step by step. I'm
okay.
doing the hardest levels possible. It's amazing.
Maybe we'll collab on that.
Yeah, that one's fun.
So, but let's get into our next segment. We called Nerd News. Nerd News. What's going on in the world of nerds? I guess. Okay. So a few things. I kind of also want to like before we get into the news stuff. I kind of saw some interesting articles. Um, Let me pull it up real quick. I kind of like. Let's see here. Let's see here. So this was on my Facebook, and so in 1991, okay, Battlefield Mall had a movie theater. I didn't know this, which was kind of cool. Look at the movies they were showing in at that time. It was a Battlefield Mall 6, right? They were doing 101 Dalmatians. So I'm assuming it was a live action with Glenn Close. So, City Slickers. You ever see that movie
Mm-mm.
No.
with Billy Crystal and Jack Palance? No. Okay. Terminator 2. Okay. Terminator 2. You ever see that movie as well? No.
Yeah, I've seen Terminator 2.
Okay. And they did Point Break. Point Break. That's the surfer movie with Keanu Reeves, where they're all bank
Yeah.
robbers.
All right, Point Break.
Uh, and then I don't know about this one. Regarding Henry. And then Dutch. This was in 1991. It's crazy. And then the other interesting article I found. So around the same time, when you guys remember Toonami on Cartoon Network?
Yeah.
Oh hell yeah! I mean, they brought it back, but
Okay,
yeah.
so they look at this. This lady Sally Beatty, she was a staff reporter of the Wall Street Journal. She reported this about Dragon Ball Z. Look at this. As many a young child already knows, Dragon Ball Z, a violent animated series imported from Japan, is a huge cartoon hit. A sort of Pokemon meets Pulp Fiction. The show is much darker than the average kiddie show. Every weekday afternoon on Time Warner's Cartoon Network, characters age, die, and get vaporized, suffering far worse fates than Wily E. Coyote ever did. Brutality is a staple. In one recent episode, beads of sweat form on the brow of a character named Vegeta as he's nearly strangled to death by an evil foe named Frieza. In another, Frieza uses his horns on on his head to impale a good guy named Krillin through the chest.
He
Like
did a he did a
I
lot worse to Krillin. First of all,
yeah.
the horns are what you got an issue with. It gets worse. Second of all, back off of my Dragon Ball Z. Okay, Dragon Ball Z is amazing, and I know exactly why she said Pokemon. It's because of this man, and she probably got confused and thought it was a Yoshi. Okay, that's not a Yoshi. That's Piccolo. Okay, it's not Pokemon. I don't know what you're talking about.
It's
I
just
hate when people
funny.
speak about stuff they don't know.
Yeah, it's just funny. Like Pokemon meets Pulp Fiction.
What?
Like it goes into. I mean, it's a huge article. I'll share here. I'll share it on our group here so we can see it. We can read and you can read it. It was hilarious because I'm just like sitting there, um, like what in the world are we?
Dragon
Like
Ball Z
I don't
is
get
one of
it.
a kind. It's not
No,
that violent. If there's much violent, you know what? You want violent? Go watch anime get killed and then come back and tell me that's violent. Because that one right
oh
there.
yeah. Well, yeah, I know what you're talking about there, but yeah.
And now you
So
do. You're welcome.
all right, so on the news front, other news, uh, Travis Kelsey, Taylor Swift, still on the news front, but let's move on from that. All right, we just got to say Travis Kelsey and Taylor Swift until it's not popular anymore. Maybe then we'll get some likes. Maybe those Swifties will be like, "Ooh, the nerdy podcast is talking about us." So to all you Swifties out there, I gave a mention to your boy. All right. Um, another thing.
Swifties.
Do you Okay, so you know how you have the Mr. Miyagi Karate Kid with Daniel LaRusso, what's his name? Ralph Macchio, I think.
Mhm.
The
And then you have
original or the TV
the original.
series?
The original, right? Yeah, you know how you have that. And then before the TV series, they did the Jackie Chan one with Jaden Smith.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There, and then they did the Cobra Kai TV series, which is
hmm
amazing. That it's getting nominated for an Emmy, by the way, so it's
Really?
pretty cool.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Emmy nominated. Um,
Garbage.
but so they announced this week that Jackie Chan and Ralph Macchio are doing a collaboration Karate Kid movie, and they're looking for the next Karate Kid. So both masters are meeting. I mean, I don't know what it's. I don't know how I feel about that because the Jackie Chan one was pretty bad.
Ah. Ah.
I
Any
mean,
thoughts?
Okay. Okay. First of all, as a representative of that generation's Karate Kid, that movie was amazing. Okay. Sure, I forget the guy's name, but Will Smith's son is terrible actor.
Jaden
But
Smith.
that's it. But Jackie Chan, man, it's Jackie Chan. It
Oh,
was an amazing movie.
I love Jackie Chan. Don't get me wrong. I
Jackie, magic must
so
defeat magic.
He caught the little. If you haven't seen it, it's not a spoiler because if you haven't seen this by now, I mean, what rock?
Yeah.
But when he catches a fly with a little chopstick, Mr. Miyagi,
yeah.
that legendary.
No, I mean,
and
it
you know
was a
what? That probably wasn't
fun
even
movie.
CGI. He probably did that for real. They probably let a fly loose and he just wow.
Yeah, now, to be
Yeah,
fair,
but
though,
like
there's a lot of movies where like they probably are just total and total garbage, but Like if you watch it and you're just not thinking about it and you're enjoying the movie, is it really that bad of a movie? I mean, granted, like the new Star Wars movies, those are trash. If you knew nothing about Star Wars and you watched them
Yeah,
independently,
I mean,
they could be fun. But of course, me being the lore nerd that I am, like, no, those movies were trash. They killed many characters.
hmm
They just they shat all over my boy there. But yeah, I mean, I would say as somebody who isn't super invested, or it was a fun movie.
So, did you guys get a chance to watch the Fallout trailer?
Yes.
I won't be watching that.
Yeah,
Do you
sure.
not like Fallout? I
I
mean, okay.
I like Fallout, but I don't like the actress. I'm a big facial expressions, and there's some actresses out there, or actors, that just have the same in everything, and I can't stand it.
I mean, I get where you're coming from because Kristen Stewart. I mean, she's
And the
off,
chick from
god
Hunger
awful.
Games,
Wait, Jennifer Lawrence.
that chick, I don't
Okay,
care what
okay,
anyone says, that chick has the same expressions in everything.
okay. Let's back off Jennifer Lawrence a little bit, okay?
Yeah.
Let's
Someone
back
likes
off
her.
Jennifer Lawrence.
Someone likes her.
So, but it looks. I think it's got potential. So, I mean, it could be good.
I have
No, I
my
don't.
concern. I mean, just because a lot of people are ruining franchises now. Not every single franchise. Like let's go. Going back to One Piece. One Piece was awesome. They did a really good job on that. Halo, they
Oh no.
destroyed it. So I'm just which way are they going to go with it? And I just not trying to go too political or anything like that, but a lot of times it's like, okay, you've got from what I've seen in the trailer, you have a single female going out into a wasteland. Like, what do you think the likeliness of her surviving a wasteland? With everything going on. I'm not saying they can't, but I'm just hoping that they are writing her character well, and she's not just some kind of Mary Sue. It's
Right.
you can't
What
you
was
can't
wrong with the
expect to put a
Halos?
what's up
I loved the
the Halo
Halos.
show.
I loved
No,
it.
the
What was
show.
wrong with it? Yeah, yeah, the show. I thought it was
So
awesome.
so here's okay. So going back, it's
Captain
a fun
Ba-
show. Like I will agree, the show was fun, but based on like if they have so much other material they could be working with for that show.
so
In terms of like you watch Forward Unto Dawn, right? The movie.
Yeah.
Okay,
I've never
so I
seen that
think they
one.
did a
So
great job with that. That instead of taking a character with a bunch of story and lore and everything, and just going complete different directions. So you've got Halo. I've been playing Halo since literally the day it came out. So like I know what the story is. They're going somewhere completely different with the story. Like if you're going to use Master Chief, do the actual Master Chief story. But if you're going to do a live action thing like that, I think you should do something like Forward Unto Dawn. Take a bunch of ODSTs, throw them out, and then anytime they start getting into like some kind of shit spot, then just throw Master Chief in there just to go fuck people up, and then Master Chief is off doing his own mission again. And then that's the biggest thing is we have a story, we have a lore, we got books, we got all this information to work on, and then they took a character that we already knew and they did something completely different with it. I saw so much, not just Master Chief's face, but Master Chief's ass and everything else going on. Don't get
yeah,
me wrong, Master Chief
yeah.
had a great ass. But, if you're going to take an established IP, go ahead and focus somewhere that we haven't focused on yet. Focus on maybe another...
They hadn't focused on his ass until that. Just saying.
True. I mean, glorious ass. But that could have been another Spartan. That could be a Spartan 3 or a Spartan 4. They could have been, be doing.
But when he crash landed because that thing blew up.
Wait.
Just
Let me
last
stop
thing.
you here. Okay.
That. Okay.
I was gonna
Whenever
say
he crash
we are
landed
gonna have a Halo episode.
and they like he whenever he crash landed, right, and he was stuck there, and all those other ones, like the little shitty soldiers surrounded him and the other Spartans came out. That was a tough ass scene where they're just like looking at him like, what you gonna do for real? You get
Well, like I
fucked
said,
up real
it's
quick.
a fun show. I'm not saying it's not a fun show,
Yeah.
but you're shitting on my IP.
That's true. For people who are like grew up on Halo and are big on it, I can see that.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said,
We are gonna have a Halo episode. I'm just letting you know.
Yeah.
And I have a friend that's a Halo fanatic. I mean, to the point where he's read the books. He he's so much of a fan. He's got his own little. He's got a room dedicated to Halo. So he loves Halo.
Jesus.
Yeah, he's a big fan. Um, super cool guy. He heard the podcast and I told him we're doing the Halo. And he was like, I'll be on for that.
Yeah, I've,
So
I've only I've only read the what was it, the Fall of Reach book, which is a fun book. I like that.
so yeah, he'll be a cool guest to have because he's super knowledgeable. Um, he taught me most of the stuff I know from Best Buy as far as TVs and whatnot. He taught me most of that stuff. So I respect his opinion a lot. So it would be cool to see him get on. The other thing, uh, so they they announced a GTA 5 Liberty City update ahead of the GTA 6 trailer. So there's still no GTA 6 trailer out, but they did the Liberty City update.
Yeah, I saw
Um,
that. I haven't been able to get into it yet. I'll
yeah,
see how that goes. That game's been running for too long. Like, don't get me wrong, it's a fun game. I enjoy playing it, but like,
I've
why
never
are you
played it,
spending
so
all this time on? It's honestly, I think the storyline of GTA was a blast. Like the concept that you're able to switch between three different characters, play missions, on different roles every single time you play through.
right.
I would, I mean, I would recommend if you enjoy playing, storylines, it's a good storyline to play. GTA Online, if you've got some friends to play with, it's good fun. But I would I would definitely recommend playing through the storyline.
And then we'll touch on one last thing. The the Suicide Squad Isekai anime. Now, are you guys familiar what Isekai animes are?
No,
Yeah, I just got done watching one.
Which one were you watching?
The Shadow of Imminence. In the
Oh,
Shadow.
okay.
Shadow of
So
Imminence.
an Isekai anime is shows like let's see, the time I got reincarnated as a slime.
Basically,
Uh,
someone dies and you become
Rising,
animated.
yeah, it's essentially like where someone gets transported to another world. A character that's in the real world then gets transported into like another world. That's an isekai
it's like a
anime.
multiverse thing.
What was
No,
that?
so usually what it is he even has a name. His name is Truck Coon. Okay, it's a truck, and the truck hits you, and whenever the truck hits you, you die and become some badass in another world. That's pretty much
So
an
they
isekai.
become really popular because there's one that I've been watching. It's called Jobless Reincarnation. It's about
That one's
this
solid.
I'm not done with it yet, but I've been watching it. It's about this guy who gets crappy guy. He gets killed and he gets reincarnated as a baby, and he grows up and he's becoming badass. They have the time I got reincarnated as a slime. That one's
Amazing.
pretty good. He wishes is like, oh, I wish I would have been something more solid, something that can't die, and he gets reincarnated as a slime. OP. There's one that's where this guy loves vending machines and he gets reincarnated as a vending machine. Uh, that one's okay. It's kind of interesting to watch, but that's what it is. It's like the people that get who are part of the real world, they get transported to another world. One that's really good that I would recommend watching is the Rising of the Shield Hero. That's a good isekai. So I'm curious about the Suicide Squad. Like seeing Harley Quinn just beat the shit out of somebody. I think that's she's psycho, so it'd be fun to
So
watch.
who's being reincarnated in that show, or do we not know yet?
No, nobody is. I guess from did you watch the trailer?
Yeah, I watched the trailer, but it was all
I guess from what I see, I mean, from what I gathered from the trailer, Harley Quinn found a portal to another dimension. So, like, they also, oh, I didn't, oh yeah, she found, sorry, I got off my rabbit trail. She went to another dimension. She found a portal because they're trying to get away from it, and now they're badasses of that dimension. That's what I gathered. They did do a Batman Isekai as well. It's called Batman Ninja.
hmm.
If you haven't watched it, I highly recommend it. It's really, really good.
Yeah, I'd be. Are they? I don't
That's
have
on
enough
HBO
time
Max, by
to
the way.
sit down and be able to pay attention to subtitles. So is it dubbed?
Yeah, it is dubbed. The Batman Ninja's dubbed.
Okay, yeah.
Watch it with your
Usually, what I
kids.
like to do, I like to. Oh, it's kid friendly.
Oh well, I mean, to a certain extent.
Yeah.
So
So I usually like to watch mine English dubbed, but then have the well, the English subs behind, underneath it, so I can
yeah,
see the difference, between what they're saying versus the original text. Because if I get busy or something, and if I miss a few words of the original text, then I'm like, yeah, whatever.
right.
Having kids and work and all that kind of stuff, it sucks. Can't do it.
I mean, that's really about all that we have on the nerd news. We touched a little bit of sports. The Dolphins are still doing pretty good. I'm a Dolphins fan, so Lions are still doing well. This year's playoffs picture is going to look pretty. It's going to be pretty interesting. So you know, we will do a sports podcast, but it probably won't be closer till playoff pictures done. So I have a person for that as well.
Okay.
So you can input whatever study. There's probably going to be a few subjects I want to do that I'm like, ooh, I really got to study that. But so it's all in good fun. But let's get into the main subject here. We've kind of we've kind of gone over quite a little bit, but it's all good. So, um, we're gonna talk about the first is we talked about the best animes, our favorite animes, and then we went over the top 25 animes. Now we're gonna hit the top 25 anime characters according to IGN. You guys get a chance to look at the list or have the list in front of you?
Yeah, I've got the list pulled up. I looked at it, and then also I just thought about which one my favorite character is. But we'll get
Okay,
to that.
cool.
Well, not on the list. My favorite character.
So
We'll get there.
number 25 is Astro Boy. I mean, I can see why he's there. I've never seen anything Astro Boy. He is probably one of the older anime characters that you've seen. It's been like what, according to this, it says like he's been on screen since 1963. So he is. I mean, he used to be iconic, but not as much anymore. I don't think. So
Yeah, I'm familiar with him. I've never seen it.
I've never seen anything of it, but I know who. I mean, he they did release like a CGI movie. Hollywood did of it, and it flopped. So that
Yeah,
means anything. Um, Vash the Stampede from Trigun.
I
Uh,
fucking love Trigun.
oh, Trigun is really good. I watched the first one, and then they did the new one called Trigun Stampede.
I saw
It-
that. I want to get into it. I just haven't had time yet. But no, that was probably one of the first animes I actually got into. I was living down in Springfield. That just one of those things that me and my roommate we sit on the couch and smoke a shit ton of weed and just binge through some shows and everything. And Trigun was one of them. It was. I love the type of character. It's I'm quite sure there's other animes that do it and everything, but the concept of he's a good guy, but everybody thinks he's the bad guy, just because of the news.
yeah,
It's almost like shit. What's One Piece? The entire concept. Everybody thinks
oh yeah,
the crew
Luffy.
is a bunch of bad guys, but really there's some good guys, and they just piss off the wrong people, and the next thing they're they're wanted. Same thing for him.
Yeah.
It's a fun trope.
What about you, Ray? Have you seen Trigun?
No, I haven't actually. I have no idea. When you say Trigon, I personally think of
Don't tell me. You're
Teen
thinking of Teen
Titans.
Titans.
Yeah,
No, that's a whole completely different realm.
yeah, but that's who
So,
I think of when you say Trigon. I don't know what the heck Trigon
um,
is.
look, you don't have to watch the original, but where you watch your anime, look up Trigun, and then look up Trigun Stampede. They're really good. I recommend them.
I would say
So,
watch the. I mean, I don't know. I say watch the original, but of course I loved it. So
ooh,
it's
number
been too long since I've
23.
seen it though.
Number 23, Lelouch Lamperouge,
Never
Code
watched it.
Geass. Have you seen this anime? Code
I
Geass?
have.
Me personally, it stands in my top five. It is. You're laughing at my top five. It's
Code
a
Geass is
good. It's a good anime. It's a mecha type anime. But see, the cool thing about okay, eh, a little bit of, about this character. So first off, he's a prince of a place called Britannia, and he has an incident where his mother is one of his mother is one of the many wives this guy's had, so her second wife or whatever. But an incident happens where someone guns down his mom, and he's there in front of him, and his mom dies shielding his little sister, who's now in shock and is paralyzed and blind, and so he gets exiled from the kingdom, and he's just in this university. He hates Britannia. He wants to see Britannia burn, but there's nothing he can do. So he meets this girl. Oh, he's a chess prodigy, so he's good at strategy. So that's and then he meets this girl inside this little thing that the Britannia said it was a bomb, and she goes, "Do you want power?" And she gives him the power of Gias. And everybody has a different power with Gias, but you don't know that until later on. But his power is the power to give an absolute command to anybody, and, they have to listen to his command. So, you know, first off, the English voice of him is Johnny Young Bosch, which is the English voice of Ichigo, and more
Power Ranger,
known as, huh?
Black Ranger.
Black Ranger.
Oh
Yeah, I'm
yeah,
glad we're on the same page. So I love Johnny Young Bosch. So the voice acting in this is just next level. And if you like mech fighting, it's really cool. So when he gets the power of Gias, he kind of uses the try to take down Britannia, but they don't want him to know who he is. So he kind of uses an alter ego Zero, like it says right there, and like people love him because his sense of strategy is just good. Like he's a protagonist, but he's also one of those. It's also one of those guys who's like, he's gonna do whatever
yeah. I'm looking at
to
Google
win.
images. None of this look like, for some reason, like the story you're telling me sounds familiar, but I've never seen this, so that probably means that it might be an overdone trope.
Can I tell you
But
why it sounds familiar? You ever seen Death Note?
Like,
oh,
whoa, okay, yeah, no, I get that, and like
Death Note
Lelouch.
remake.
No, but this is a lot different. Yeah, and they do share similarities. But first off, this came out before Death Note. I do want to point that out.
Death Note did
So
it better. Sorry, yeah, my bad. I just got confused.
Death Note's a little bit different than this. This one's more like yeah. I mean, he's a very similar protagonist to Light Yagami, which brings us to number 22, Light Yagami.
oh, nice
Um,
inadvertent yeah
so
Transition.
segue.
but yeah, Light Yagami is I think during that time it was just really popular having a protagonist that's also an antagonist. Um,
Still
but
is. I mean, the Shadow of Imminence. That's a newer anime. It's just always nice whenever you're watching an anime and you're like, oh yeah, oh he's a bad guy, but I thought he was a good guy, but no, he's a bad guy.
Light Yagami, okay. So I have a personal opinion on the whole Death Note thing too. So, um, first off, 100% Light Yagami. Forget L. I'm Team Light Yagami. Team Light. Okay. Um, I think the show should have ended when L died. Oh, spoiler. Oh, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, if it's that old, come on.
This show's old. Everyone should have watched it. It's on Netflix. I think it should have ended when L ended. I didn't really care for it when they got into Mello and Nier, and they outsmarted him. No. And he did make the world a better place. He really did make the world a better place. There was
Not
less
towards the
crime.
end.
There was a lot less crime.
Well, if it wasn't for L being all in his case, it wouldn't have gone nuts. So really, it's L's fault.
That's
So,
true.
I mean, it was cool when he lost it, and he goes, "I am L, and I am Lynn Taylor, whatever," and he kills him right there. He's like, "Oh, this was only broadcast in Tokyo, so I now know where you're at." Like, oh, you're like, "Oh, this is where it begins." It was a really good show, all in all. So, you know, I, like it says right here, he's diabolical and calculating, and so
I enjoyed the show, but I think the show is really what did it versus like I'm not saying the characters were forgettable because obviously I didn't forget the characters, but I think the premise of the show was better than the actual characters themselves. If that makes any sense.
yeah, I hated Misa. So, well, you have something to say about that, Ray?
I liked them all. I thought it was a solid anime. I do agree
I
though with you where they should have ended it once L ended because L carried that show so hard. I mean, his just
yeah,
the voice actor alone carried it so much.
yeah. I watched it live as it was coming out week by week. So
I could
back
never
when,
do that. I hate doing that. I hate whenever they're like next season. Oh,
so but let's move on to the number 21 here. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Dio Brando. So
Yeah, you guys thought I was
okay,
going to have an opinion on this guy, but no, it's just me, Dio. No,
I
so
just can't get into it still. I've been trying.
it's so
Dio
over the top.
Brando. Okay, so he I mean, the first two seasons he was the main antagonist, and then the third one he came back. Um, he's kind of mentioned throughout the series, but really in season 3, he was the best part of it. He really carried that season. Um, so but I mean, his special power was the world, and he just goes the world and freezes time for like 4 or 5 seconds. And every time he as the fight progresses, he can do 9, 12 seconds, and like so that was his big thing. Um, he fights Jotaro Joestar, which I think is on this list later on, um, but I mean, yeah, he was really good. He was charismatic, and everyone really feared him. So I think he made for a good villain in season 3. The first 2 seasons, he was kind of annoying. So
Is that the blonde guy?
yeah. So eh, honestly, if you were to start watching, I mean, watch the whole thing. But if you really want a good starting point for JoJo, start at season 3, Stardust Crusaders, because that's where the anime takes a whole completely different turn. Like in the first 2 seasons, they use Hamon, which is you know using the energy within your with your stuff. So and then they go into stands, which is season 3. Everyone has a different stand. The stand kind of is like you ever play the game Persona or heard of it?
No,
I've
I haven't actually.
still need so I've got 4. Hold on, let me pull up my Steam so I could figure out which one I've got. I started playing it. I got stuck. I needed to restart it because it was one of those things. It was first time playing it, and I wasn't too sure what exactly I needed
Okay,
to get down on. But I need to replay
but
that
the
game.
example I was trying to make it, how when you play the game Persona, like Persona, and then
Yeah,
like another person, that's essentially what a stand is. So that's one of the reasons I kind of like the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, because it was kind of like you had another self within yourself, but they called it a stand. So and when you get to season 4, the stands get crazy. To my opinion, season five is the pinnacle of that show. It was Season 3 was okay. This is okay. I'm a little bored. Season 4 is like, oh, it got better, but they're doing the same thing. Season 5 was just like, whoa, okay.
I
You
have
took it to the
Persona
next
4
level.
Golden, by the way.
Huh?
I've got Persona 4 Golden.
Oh, okay, that's a
Yeah.
good one. That's a good one. I liked that one a lot actually.
No, yeah, it's a fun
But
game. It's like
but that's
playing an
that's enough.
anime show.
So number 20 is Gone Princess. Hunter. Contrary to popular belief, it is not Hunter X Hunter. It is just Hunter. I don't know why.
Yeah,
So
Is
it's a little
Princess the little chick
nasty.
in the dress that buffs up?
what's what?
Who is that
Oh,
character? Is that the princess that like buffs up?
oh, you're talking about Biscuit or Bisca or something like that. Biscuit, the one that trains them in Greed Island. Yeah, yeah, she
Yeah, who
like
are you
buffs
thinking
up.
of? But who are you talking about right now?
Gone. He's the
Oh,
little.
okay.
He's the main
I didn't
character.
hear
The
you say
the
that.
green
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
with the green hair. Yeah,
He's number 20th.
he's number 20. So, I mean, he wasn't bad. The story's kind of boring. He just wants to find his father,
Yeah.
so that's how he becomes a hunter. So it's kind of like a hunter association. He goes on and does that, but I don't think he's a very strong protagonist. I think there's other people around them were better, but that's just my opinion. So let's see here. Number 19. I don't know anything about this one. So I might
It's
even
okay.
pronounce him out. Motoko Kunasagi, Ghost in the Shell. Uh, I've seen the movie Ghost in the Shell back in the 90s, but I never saw the series Ghost in the Shell. I played the video game as well.
I saw the live
So
action. That was about it.
Yeah,
live
I'd like
action on
to watch the anime and then go and watch the movie with Joanna Sohatson.
Scarlett Johansson.
Oh yeah, Scarlet. Yeah, God, I fucked that one up. Late.
Scarlett Johansson.
There we go.
The movie was trash, but it's okay.
Yeah, I
So
just want to, just for kicks and giggles, just compare the two. I think it'd be fun.
yeah, the '90s anime is pretty good, and then they did a whole series with it. They had a video game called Ghost in the Shell. It was on PlayStation.
Hmm.
It was cool,
Never played it, but
but
I know what you're talking about.
I don't know much about this character though, so I can't really go into it. Levi Ackerman, Attack on Titan.
Straight badass.
He's only
That-
what was that? 18?
He's 18. I think he should be
What?
higher in the list.
Hell yeah, he should be.
Yeah, he should be a lot higher than that.
Levi is yeah, like you said, straight badass. There's no other word for it. Like, do you like? One of my favorite moments with him was when
All of them.
all of them. Like he knows he figured out early on that his friends are being turned into Titans. He figured that out very early on, and he didn't give a fuck. He just killed them anyway. He's like, "You're a Titan, whatever. You're dead." But I like when the Beast Titan is throwing all the rocks and he's sack all his friends and he's trying to sneak behind them, and all of a sudden you see him
Dodges
appear and
everything.
you just see like he just remembers watch out for Levi. He was straight wreck you and he's just like, oh whatever, and he tries to grab him and Levi just straight up wrecks him.
Yep.
Yeah. So we talked about this last week, didn't we?
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
we
we did.
did. So there's just so many moments with him that's just super cool. And then the Ackermans are just, I guess they're super powered.
Yeah, I
I
need
don't
to
know, but
resub to Crunchyroll just so I could finish Attack Titan.
number 17, Kakashi. Okay,
Not
Kakashi.
okay. It's fucking Kakashi. He
No,
should
it's
be
Kakashi. No,
Top 10.
okay, let's go. That's what I mean. Like, he's the copy ninja. Like, he's amazing. He's got the Sharingan in one eye. If you haven't seen the show by now, I'm sorry, but he got it from his best friend Obito when he was crushed by that rock. That the real villain of the show is that rock, by the way. If he never got crushed by that rock, Obito would never become who he was. I'm just saying. So, but yeah,
How many episodes of? So I watched the first season that was available
So-
on Netflix a while ago.
So I think Naruto, the original series where he's a young kid, has 220 episodes.
Okay,
You can
I have
skip
not
all of
watched
those.
220 episodes.
Once you get
You
to
can skip 'em.
episode, no, wait. Watch it until episode 132. I learned this off the filler list. I think it's 132, 134. Once it hits that, it becomes pure filler for like 70 episodes. Skip all that and go to 220, and then go watch Shippuden.
Or you can just go watch Shippuden because Shippuden's good enough to be its standalone. And honestly, they go into re-explanation of every single character, anyways, and what
They
their
do it.
missions are
Flashback,
about 19,000 times. Yeah, so you'd be good to go from just straight Shippuden. Just saying,
Okay, I'll check.
Yeah,
it
you
out.
might actually
it's a
like
good
it.
one.
because Naruto
So-
is boring.
But Kakashi was one of my favorite characters for sure. He trained so many. He trained the next generation. So and I don't know what to, I don't yeah I don't know what to say
I'm
about
sad Lee's not on this list.
him. Rock Lee, no, I don't know about that one.
And-
Number 16, Guts Berserk. Okay, so I've never seen any of the. Only seen like a portion of Berserk. I think it was like the first segment. It was like a show in the '90s I watched. It was
Same.
just an OVA. It was cool. Um, so he's just out for revenge, and I mean they did another show, but I tried to watch it. I'm like, what's going on? Who's I got lost, so I just dropped it.
I
But I
watched
don't
it,
think
and honestly, it just the show itself, like yeah, it was a cool character and everything, but like sometimes, like don't get me wrong, I love me some good anime, but sometimes things get a little too dark. Like a
yeah.
little too much horrible things are happening to innocent people, and it just makes me a little sad.
Well, then don't
Right.
watch Anime Get Kill.
Oh, I'm like, okay, that's a good one though.
Is it?
Number
Okay, I gotta look that up
15,
right now.
Arsene Lupin the Third.
No clue who he is.
Lupin? Lupin is like one of the greatest anime thieves of all time. I've never seen any of his shows though,
I've never
but
seen the show. Yeah.
I know who he is. There's a live action Netflix of it, but he's pretty much he's one of those old ones. He's been around since the '70s, um, and he's just a thief. He's regarded as the world's greatest thief. Um, so yeah, he's got a team he steals with, things like that. He gives, he steals only from certain people that are wronged other people and whatnot. So he's kind of like a righteous thief, but
Sounds
that
familiar.
what Robin Hood?
Yep.
Of course, there's nothing new under the sun. Number 14,
Real quick,
Jotaro
remember,
Kujo.
kids. Robin Hood did not steal from the rich to give to the poor. He stole from the government. Continue.
Government was rich.
Number 14, Jotaro Kujo. Like I said, we're talking about this. He's the main character of Stardust Crusader, the third season. Um, you know, so he's really cool. He has a stand called Star Platinum. That's just really precise and fast. Uh, yeah, he's. I think he's one of the more popular ones, and that's when they finally start. Season 3 is when things really start to pick up. So if you want to start watching it, start from there.
All right.
Number 13, Renoa Zoro from One Piece. Dude, as far as first mates go, he's the
Hell yeah.
man. Like, one of my favorite moments with this guy is I'm about to spoil something for you, Tom. I'm sorry. Is that
Yeah,
okay?
don't worry about it.
Okay. So this is after the time skip because there's like they have a 2-year training period, right? So Luffy, he's like walking and like they're up against 100,000 fishmen. And all of a sudden like they go and he's just walking straight to the boss and he just like unleashes his conqueror hockey and knocks out 50,000 of the fishmen. And he goes, they're like, did he just do that? Whoa! And he's like, yeah, if he couldn't take out 50,000 by himself, then he wouldn't be my captain, now would he? So like he's loyal to his captain. He respects the heck out of his
Yeah.
the thing. So like I think out of all the Straw Hats, he's done the most for Luffy than any other person, really.
Oh yeah,
So
100%.
yeah, so he's a good character. And Ray, I know you don't watch One Piece because you don't like real anime.
I don't want to watch 1,000 episodes before the main anime begins. No, I do not.
Yeah. I did really like their casting on the live action too. I think he did a really good job.
Yeah, I think so too. Number 12 is Tanjiro. Oof. Have you watched
Never.
Demon Slayer?
I've got a lot of people telling me, dude, you got to watch Demon Slayer. I have not gotten down on it yet.
Ray?
Yeah, of course.
Dude, Tanjiro is a straight, and this one he's just a straight badass in the show. He's just like a low ranked guy, but he's got an excellent sense of smell, so he's able to like pinpoint like their weak spots. It's pretty cool. So he gets like when he first the first person he encounters is he's trying to defend his sister against this it's a Hashira. At the time you don't know that, but it's a water Hashira. Hashira is kind of like a Hokage from Naruto. They're just the most badass people around.
Hulk
And
Hogan?
this guy's the Huh?
Hell yeah, brother.
Yeah. So he encounters the Hashira and he's impressed because he was able to like almost injure this Hashira, and so he takes him under his wing and trying to fight demons. But yeah, it's a really good anime. Um, it is relatively new, so it's only got, I think, we've only done 3 seasons. Um,
You know,
but
I just want to say, you're mentioning his ability to like stiff out their weak spots and everything, but I think one thing people really underutilize is the weak for a weak spot. It's their butthole. Thanos, his weak spot would have been his butthole. Any other thing? I
well,
mean, because come on, who's got like a solid steel sphincter? Like you should be
well,
able to
okay.
shove a sword up there, no problem, no matter who it is.
Well, Kakashi did that. You remember that? The the that.
Well, yeah, it's always the this thing, yeah, but he usually did that to other people versus his enemy.
Yeah. So number 11, L. Wow. Okay, I didn't realize L was so high up. You know. So he was him and Light were yin and yang. I think L was truly smarter than Light. Um,
Well, yeah, I mean, I think as
but
much as he got figured out with the little information, because let's face it, Light had all of the information. L had
mhm.
none of the information, and he got everything figured out. Like he is, I would say, Batman slash Sherlock Holmes equivalency of detective abilities.
You know why L died?
Yeah,
Honestly,
well, yeah, because he drew out Light.
no. But you know what his I think his one crucial mistake was.
Continue.
Um, he knew it was Light from the start. He knew it was. There, you can't tell me there's no way he didn't know it was Light. But he pushed the game because he was intrigued to see. He wasn't 100% sure, but he suspected Light from the start, like just right off the bat. And I think he saw himself in Light, and then eventually Light truly became his friend. Because even when Light discarded the Death Note and lost the memories of the Death Note, um, you know, that 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 right there was the most brilliant move Light could do, and that's because it's not something Light knew. But I think if L would have just been like, no, he's Kira, you're done, get him. He knew, and he wanted a friend, and he saw Light as his equal. He had never been challenged like that before. That's my opinion on that. So that's why he died. So what about you, Ray? What do you think of him?
Which one?
L.
I mean, I think L was a master strategist, and I think he did want a friend, and I think he did get caught on purpose. But I also think he went absolute batshit at the end. So I mean,
Yeah.
they could have drawn that back a bit because he absolutely lost his fucking marbles, and I think that's why he ultimately got caught. I don't know if I would say that it was, like that. I just know that he, at the end there, he definitely lost his mind a bit.
Right.
I mean that
And then
that
you
whole
have
scene. Look at that, L. What do you think of that? This is my perfect victory. Chills.
yeah, number 10, Hitomara Kenshin from Reunion Kenshin. I never really saw the show. Everyone told me to always watch it. I know it's about start off with like an OVA Samurai X where he was the killer. Just this awesome samurai in the war. And then they did the show Reunion Kenshin where he was just like he just wanted to live a life of peace. Um, he could straight up murder you, but he did not want to. Um, so you know,
Walk
uh,
lightly and carry a big stick.
right, right. And the show is pretty much because after the war he just gave up because he was a hired sword bait pretty much, and he just wanted to not kill anymore. So the show's all about like different people. They're like, "Oh, you're the Samurai X. Let's kidnap his friends and see if he'll kill me." And he never does. But I don't know if he does or not. But that's what the show's pretty much the premise of. So
Oh, speaking about samurais, though, sorry, we never talked about our nerd thing. But
oh yeah,
check out Blue Eye Samurai on Netflix. That's it was a pretty interesting show. This kind of
I saw
remind,
the trailer for it.
yeah.
But let's transition to another samurai thing. I I was gonna watch Blue Light Samurai first, but this one caught my eye because I played the video game, Unimushu. So they have an anime about Unimushu Warlord. So I was like, oh, it's kind of cool. They got the you know I'm like 4 episodes in. It's all
Okay.
right. So, but number nine, Shinji Itakari Evangelion.
I don't know
Ooh,
why he's on the list in the first place.
I don't know why either. I mean, first off, he was scared of everything. Did you ever watch Evangelion, Ray?
No, I didn't. I have no idea what that is.
Oh
It's
man,
good. It's dark. Not as
it's
dark as
good.
other stuff, but it's good.
Uh, okay, let's define good. It starts off super high, and then all of a sudden just dies down because and you what it came out in the 90s. First
Mhm.
off, in the 90s, Ahsoka or Asuka, whatever it was, it's not Ahsoka,
Is that the
Asuka, I
redhead you're
think it
talking
was.
about?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, in the 90s, she was Bae to me. I'm like, oh wow, it's my favorite anime character. Like, just so much happens in that show that I'm just like, if you watch the 90s show and you get to the like last 3 episodes, you're like, what just happened?
Well, they
So
redid the last episode. What was it?
yeah, yeah,
They called
I
it
get it now. Yeah, yeah.
Evangelion, the ending. Yeah,
I haven't seen the 4 movie remake yet, but
I've seen the first three. I still got to watch the fourth one. Did they have they even came out with the fourth one yet?
I has not. That's why I haven't watched it yet.
How the
I
fuck
watched
have
the
they
yeah.
started coming out this thing when I was still living in so minimum 6 years? But honestly, it was.
Hmm.
Do you remember Richard at Sam's Club? Short little
Oh
nerdy
yeah,
kid.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's the one who got me involved in it, and we watched the first one together. Eventually, I watched the second one after scouring the internet. I think I had to pirate that one back in the day,
Hmm.
and I think the same thing with the third. But I don't even remember the third one to be honest. But then I think there's trailers for a fourth one, and they just haven't done anything with it. I'm like, how do studios become so lazy that they can't like you should before you even start a project, here's the beginning, here's the ending. All right, cool, let's just fill everything in the fucking middle. And then they haven't come
Right,
out with the four. This is probably 10 plus years at this point.
right. I was reading here to say why they made him popular is because he's not the typical anime hero. He's just he's pathetic, and they said that's what makes him great and a genuine work of art. I mean, I can see it, but this one, I don't know why this one is so high on the list too. Sailor Moon, Usagi, or if you watched on Toonami, it was which one Kai? Serena, I think. But dude, Sailor Moon is like I guess I mean if you're getting the line of pathetic, she was pathetic in as far as Shinji. So um I leave my younger brother on this one. He loves Sailor Moon. He's seen everything. I mean I've seen just about everything as well. But then there's one that I did not see because I didn't know it came out. Toonami ended at a certain one. I thought that was the end of it, and never. It's on Hulu if you ever want to watch it. Um, but you know, I mean, I have a Sailor Moon T-shirt. Maybe I'll wear it next week. Who knows? I do like me
2008,
Sailor Moon.
2009. Sorry, going back. 2008, 2009 is when Evangelion came out, the remake on Blu
Yeah.
ray. 2007. Yeah, you were
Hmm.
not alone. Sorry, I know you moved on, but it just, that's bullshit.
So, but yeah, I don't see why she's on this list. I mean, she's you know, the
I
only
can
thing I remember
understand
from
why
Sailor Moon.
Sailor Moon is on there, just because, like, I don't know, I feel like that's one
She's
of the most
iconic.
popular. She got a lot of people interested in anime in the first place.
Yeah, but the thing is, I never crushed on any of these people. Or like, oh yeah, but no way, because she's 14. It's weird.
I remember
Okay.
the only reason why I really knew about Sailor Moon is because Sailor Moon, I think it was either Sailor Moon and then Street Sharks, or it was Street Sharks and then Sailor Moon on like Cartoon Network back in the day.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, but the only thing I have a bottle opener that has her wand. and it's the one I just know because it goes Healing Moon Escalation. So it's kind of cool. My brother got it for me, but
Nice.
we'll move on. I don't, she's beloved. Number 7, Vegeta. Oh yeah,
Kakarot.
like okay, Vegeta. He's probably one of the best characters. He's number 2 for me as far in Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball. So my
Who's your
number
number
one is
one?
Piccolo. Piccolo's number 1.
Good job.
Okay, and the fact that now that Piccolo has become as strong as the Saiyans now with Orange Piccolo, I'm pretty happy about that.
Piccolo's got a big
But
dick. Let's face it.
It's about time that he got an upgrade.
yeah, but Vegeta's cool. I mean, first off, he's got the iconic line, "It's over 9,000." Everybody knows that. Like you don't have to watch anime to know that. Everybody knows that. So my favorite, he's got so many cool moments. Like, you know, like I like when the android, he's like, "I've become the Prince of all Saiyans once again." That was a cool moment.
Yeah.
So
You mean
he,
right before he gets his ass beat?
yeah. Well, and not only that, but like Majin Buu, where before he kills Majin Buu or tries to kill Majin Buu, he's like, "Yeah, I've got a family, and yeah, I'm doing this even for you, Kakarot," and it explodes himself. Then I cried.
Yeah. Yeah, I really like whenever, especially even in the most recent ones, whenever he's sitting there and Beer smacks Bulma and he's like, "That's my wife," and then he just
Yeah.
loses his shit.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing, like, as far as Dragon Ball Z goes, Vegeta, even Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super, just all of it, Vegeta has more depth than Goku. You
Oh yeah,
know,
100%.
as
Goku
a
just wants to
character.
fight.
If you really think about it, and especially in Dragon Ball Super, Goku's the villain. You know, but Vegeta wants to get stronger too. But like,
Yeah.
do you think if someone slapped Chi Chi, do you think Goku's gonna be like, "Oh, that's my wife," and go
He's
off?
gonna be like, "Why didn't you dodge, motherfucker? What the hell?"
Yeah, no, Vegeta has his pride, as the same pride, and that's what makes him so cool.
Yeah.
Like, I wish they would finally release it instead of doing Dragon Ball Daima. Well, I guess we'll see how that is. But like in the manga, um, he Goku's training with Whis, where he learns Ultra Instinct even more because Ultra Instinct is the ability of the angels, and then Beers starts to teach um, Vegeta the God of Destruction ways, and the God of Destruction is based on rage, and hate and anger. He learns it, but then after he does it, he goes, "This isn't for me." He's like, "Maybe if he would have taught me this years ago, it would have been more for me, but I don't feel that way anymore." So now he's looking for a way to be different. So, you know,
I would like to. So the last episodes of Dragon Ball Z that I ever watched, well, Dragon Ball in general, was right before it went from Majin Buu to the Kid Buu thing. Like I remember people were in Majin Buu's stomach, and then past that, like it
oh
was
yeah,
so
yeah,
long ago, it's been so fuzzy. And this is like back when it was coming out actually, week to week on WB or something. So it's been a long time since I've seen any of the stuff. But going back to Vegeta though, I've definitely noticed, he's always had character progression, unlike because
Goku
unfortunately
has no character progression.
the only character progression he's got is how much stronger he gets, which is
Right.
always stronger. But you know, but yeah, no, I would say out of all the characters, I would say the best character. I'm not saying that Piccolo's a bitch or anything, but I would say
Right.
in an objective, cinematic, you know analysis, you have character development with Vegeta, and that's about it. Some of the other characters have some development too, but not as much as Vegeta did.
Yeah. Number 6 is Spike Spiegel, Cabo Bebop. Another classic from the 90s. Um,
It's a
they
great
tried to
show.
do the live action, but it died.
Yeah,
So
they
sadly,
from I haven't seen it, but from what I've heard, it kind of failed for the same reasons I was worried about the
it was campy, too
yeah
campy.
um, like but the same thing I'm worried about for the Fallout show. They're taking characters and they're worrying about more like, oh, we just need to
Yeah,
be inclusive versus, hey, let's actually write good storylines. Like, oh, there's never, female heroes. I'm like the first female hero. I'm like, have you not heard of like Princess Leia or Ridley or any of these other people out there who did a fan fucking tastic job who, for female leads and everything? And I just,
right.
they're like, of course, this is like me being a sexist pig, but let's face it, the character, I forgot the female character's name, but she should have been hot with big boobs and everything. That's what we watched back in the day, and that's what we expected when we watched it. But whatever.
See, like, so Spike Spiegel, like, the cool thing about him is, like, first off, Cowboy Bebop all takes in space. He's very versatile. He's just like expert thief, good fighter, gunsman. Um, he's
That's
he
like just a
has a
perfect
person he's
rogue.
in love with. Yeah, you know, um, the whole thing is about his relationship he had with this woman, and it just haunts him. And then later on in the show, you find out that he was part of this assassin organization that killed his wife or lover, whoever it was, and him and he leaves the organization. Then they hunt him down and they try to find they fight, and he tries to end the organization. So it was a decent show, but there's really I don't think he should be so far on the list. And of course, number 5, Goku. Um, Goku's only on this list because he's iconic.
Yeah,
Let's face it. You know, um, he's just the typical, like, we think about, what's his name? Let there be carnage. I don't Woody Harrison. He's a typecast. When it comes to shonen anime, Goku's the archetype for it. He just is.
yeah.
So you just don't, you know. And really, Goku didn't become famous. Didn't really become iconic till Dragon Ball Z. So, but he does have some cool moments. You know.
Bullshit. He was iconic the moment they introduced him to Bulma, because the first thing he did whenever he meets Bulma when he's asleep at Master Roshi's is smack her right on her fanny and ask, "What's that?"
Oh
Hey, that
yeah,
was a legendary scene, and that was Dragon Ball. That was
that was Dragon
OG.
Ball. Yeah, but I mean, yeah. So, but I mean, Dragon Ball Z, like, I think his most iconic moment was when he goes Super Saiyan for the first time. I think so. I mean,
I
I
don't
think it's
know.
cool.
That fucking Super Saiyan the first time was like 5 episodes long of him just going ah, ah,
Yeah, that's my complaint
ah.
with a lot of anime. Like, come on, stop the
Well,
filler. Just go.
um, watch Dragon Ball Kai. It's
Yeah,
Dragon Ball Z without the filler, which is cool. Dragon Ball Z Kai. So, or just, just watch Dragon Ball Z abridged, because honestly, I
Yeah,
can't.
done. Done. And that's the only reason why that
Yeah.
they got shut down for a minute there and was threatened to be sued, is because Dragon Ball Z Abridged is just top tier. It's the
yeah.
best.
Oh, it's next level. I honestly like abridged better than the actual show.
Yeah,
You know,
I've watched Abridged
like,
so many times.
an abridged, like, what I like about him, Goku is such an idiot. He's like, oh, okay, yeah, we'll fight that thing. Yeah, that sounds cool.
Have you seen the new Abridged, the Boo series?
I haven't seen. I've seen some of it, the boo bits. It's not all of it, but it's funny. So I wish they bridged more of it. But I like the
Yeah.
Cell bridge. They're like, that's your son. He's getting the crap beat of him. Oh, just wait a minute. He is going to do something epic. And his son just getting the crap beat out of him. But yeah, that's Goku. Let's see. Let's move down the list. Okay, I absolutely know nothing about this. Johan, a monster for Monster. I know nothing about this character. Nothing. I couldn't tell you anything about this. So I guess I have to go watch this anime because he's so far down the list and intrigued me. So I guess according to the little caption, he's often called the greatest villain in anime history. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
So
What'd you
it's
say
so
it was
great. Well,
from?
I haven't
Who?
heard of him.
Monster. It's a show called Monster. So I'm kind of curious. Yeah, he's often compared to Light Yagami. So okay. Uh, but Johan isn't afraid of death. He welcomes it. Huh. Okay.
Never
Well,
heard of it.
we'll have to. I'll have to watch it. Maybe we'll recap this later. But number three, Naruto. Of course he is. Huh. I mean, he's cool. He's cool. I don't mind him. I think. Um. He's kind of he doesn't do a whole lot in the first one. He's really lucky, I think. But
Yeah, I don't
I
think by
think
any means he's like the best character of the series, but I always do appreciate the over optimistic character. Just like Goku. Overly optimistic. We're just gonna do this with the power of friendship.
yeah. I mean he does have a cool moment. My favorite moment for Naruto is whenever he's fighting Pain. Pain is on about and he's into Sage mode, and then Pain kicks the crap out of him, and then he's like pinned down, and then Hinata reveal like tells him, you know, I love you. I've always loved you. Blah blah blah. And then like she gets hurt. He just rages. And then finally he defeats Pain. And for the first time ever, that was the first time that the village recognizes him as a ninja. I thought that was a good way for it. I mean, iconic.
I just love his sexy shadow,
Oh yeah,
shadow clone jutsu.
the
It was
sexy
it was
jutsu.
it was all right. I mean, the fact that I'm all about the get backs. Like if someone gets done dirty, they get them back. I'm like, oh yeah, I
Yeah,
like that. And the fact that Naruto lets Pain live, nah, murder them all, every last one of them,
but that's
dead,
not his
dead,
character.
dead. Nah, she should have been.
So
You gotta be evil just to get your get backs. I mean, that man, Jiraiya, okay, he deserves to die.
Jiraiya was cool. We'll
Look
get
what they
into
did to
that.
him. Mm,
And then number two,
fuck Pain.
Edward Aldrich from Full Metal Alchemist. Okay.
Yeah.
Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. I mean, the first one was good, but Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is easily, probably like number two anime.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah, Elric
it's just
brothers. Yeah, just everything about their character, their arc. There's growth. Like that is, it's one of those things I would say objectively, if you put it on paper, you could definitely say that both, Full Metal Alchemist and Brotherhood are objectively great shows.
yeah,
I mean, again, Brotherhood is better, but the
way
For
fact
anyone that
that
better.
doesn't
you
know the
have
difference between the two,
what's that?
So I'll explain. You want to explain it, or you want me to?
Go ahead. You probably watched it more recently than I have.
Okay, so Full Metal Alchemist, it follows the manga I mean, it follows the manga pretty, not super close, but for the most part. Then it reaches like episode 24, it catches up to the manga. So
oh, so
instead
they
of
just
them,
freeballed it.
so yeah, instead of them waiting for the manga to finish, they just went in a completely different direction.
I mean, they didn't do as bad as Game of Thrones, but yeah.
Yeah. And then Brotherhood takes out some parts that the first one didn't follow, but for the most part, it just follows the manga a lot closely, and it makes a lot more sense. Like in Full Metal Alchemist, the original, like Eldrick's thing, he goes like this, and he doesn't have to use an alchemy circle. And the Full Metal Alchemist anime, he's just like, oh, how did I do that? How did I do that? They don't know. They don't explain that at all. In Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, they explain why he can do that, and that's honestly that makes all the difference because it's just like, oh, he just all of a sudden can do that. There's a reason why he can do that, and then
Yeah.
it makes you wonder, well, why can his brother do that? And then Full Metal Brotherhood just hits all those high notes. But anywho,
Yeah, I think it's just a deeper, darker story Like
Yeah, see,
not
I've seen
terribly dark.
Brotherhood. I never watched it, so.
Number one character, I would do a drum roll. Maybe I'll add a drum roll to this, but like Monkey D. Luffy is the number one character. I 100% agree with this.
He's paying people to say that. That anime
100%
is.
agree. First off, Monkey D. Luffy was at the Macy Thanksgiving Day Parade. It's huge. I liked One Piece before it was popular, but you know,
I ain't gonna
but
watch
yeah,
1,000 filler episodes. And then the
they're not
creator
all.
of an
They're not.
anime comes out and says, "Yeah, those 1,000 episodes, that was just a team getting together. Now the
Yeah,
real
fine.
anime starts."
500 filler
No,
episodes
no,
because there's only
they're
about
not fill. They're
1,098
not
or
filler
something.
episodes. The anime is reaching the manga and anime are in their final arc. So it'll probably be 5 more years before it finishes, but still, Monkey D. Luffy. Yeah.
I mean, it's a fun
So we'll
show.
just leave it at that.
I appreciate the lightheartedness, the positivity. Again, it's just like the rainbow French. With
Yeah.
friendship, all things are possible. But no, I appreciate some good heartfelt moments that I've seen thus far. If I had the ability to cry, I might shed a tear here or there. But it's a great show, and I think overall he's just a good, fun, wholesome character.
I'll get into him in a second. So before we finish, let's hit our favorite anime characters and why. Why don't we start off with Ray?
How about we start with our guest? Huh? Yeah.
Oh, I mean, sure, go for it, Tom. Favorite anime character and
Uh,
why?
Kimpachi Saraki, because he has the biggest dick in anime.
Okay, he does have some BDE for sure,
Yeah.
and like he, he's super cool. He's one of the only captains, that fights just using his sword, and that's not only that, but he limits himself so he can enjoy the fight even more.
Have you
That
gotten down on Thousand Year Blood War yet?
oof, yes, epic. Have
Yeah.
you?
I've so I watched the first few episodes, English sub, and then I'm like, oh well, in a couple of weeks they're going to come out with the dub. So I went ahead and held off. I watched all of them, and then I got to the point where the big reveal episode for Kampachi was uh, was um, was dubbed. Well, it was still only English subbed. So I went ahead and watched it, but I stopped watching it because I was going to give it a few weeks for everything to catch up, and then I was going to finish the series out. So everything's finally English dub now, so I'm going to go back and watch it. But
No, it's good. It's good.
yeah, Kampachi, God, he's terrifying, but he just makes me laugh the entire time. It's like, oh shit, oh shit. Every moment he comes
My
out,
favorite
it's oh shit.
favorite moment with him, right, is when he's fighting the Espada number 5, the Mantis guy, and he's like, "Oh, I think I'm about to die," and he just remembers back to his training, and he's like, "Oh, okay, Kendo," and he just like holds 2 hands, and the guy's
Yeah.
like, "What is that gonna do?" He's like, I just gonna be a stronger swing," and he's like, "Wow," he's just like, no, so he goes, whoo, with both hands and just demolishes him.
I mean, I love Blood War, that episode I'm talking about. It's like,
Hmm.
oh well, I'm going to be turned into steel, and then well, so he
That's still a pretty
swings.
new anime. Do we want to ruin that?
I mean,
I'm
it's
just
been out
saying.
Yes,
for a couple months.
it's been out
Some of
for.
us are still working on it. I'm just
Are you
saying.
really?
I only
Okay,
got to
okay,
like
that's fine.
episode 4. Just saying.
Okay,
I'm working on
fine,
it.
I'll hold off, but
Because
Fine, you need to
I
watch it
wanted
then.
to. I wanted to start it from season 1. I haven't gotten through because there's 2, so I haven't
yeah,
Yeah,
okay,
working my way,
fine,
fair,
I'll
fair,
keep my
fair.
mouth
making my
shut
way
on it.
downtown.
But
So,
but
I
yeah,
mean that
so
show, but
but you know what scene I'm talking about though, right?
I know exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
It's
that was just like, oh god, it's just like, oh, my dick just needs to be heavier. Cool, heavier dick.
so maybe next time we can get into the best anime villain. I think that'll be a good one.
Yeah.
So, all right, Ray, what's your favorite character?
Juzo Suzuya, Tokyo Ghoul.
Why?
He's my favorite. He's just
Why?
well. First of all, the dude stitches himself. Okay, he does it to himself just because he likes
Yeah.
pain. No other reason. Just because why not? Which I can get behind. That's cool. Second of all, he's just batshit crazy. Like he is just mentally unstable. He just loses his shit. He takes his boss is like, we're pinned down. We can't do anything. We need assistance. And there's all these ghouls just firing down at him from like the third story, and they're all on ground floor taking fire and everything. And this dude just takes his boss's brand new motorcycle that he just got, ramps it off of a car through the window with two Uzis, and just starts spraying people down. Like he is just absolutely batshit. Plus, honestly, as far as that anime goes, because Kinkaneki, his character development is super confusing and fogging, especially through the different seasons and everything. That's why they're talking about redoing it. But
It's
that
because
guy right
it
there,
went off the manga.
yeah. But Juzo Suzuya, his character development was the best one in that entire season. He just was.
Okay. I mean, at least you have reason to back it up.
Yeah.
So, all right.
And I got his
So
tattoo,
now,
so
what? Where?
eh,
Oh, your arm
eh,
right there.
all the way up. There we go. Yeah.
So, okay. So, my favorite character is, I mean, like I said, I liked this before it was cool. I've been watching this show since 2010, so 13 years now. So, but I like Monkey D. Luffy. Here's why. Okay, one, he knows what he wants from the start. He wants to be king of all pirates. He's been laughed at. He's been like shunned, but he still goes for his goal. Number two, dude, the guy fights for his not only for his friends. You know, he's a different kind of pirate. He doesn't care what pirates do. He does what he wants, and he will do anything for his nakama, his friends. All right, especially that scene in the live action, the whole thing with Nami.
Mm-hmm.
Like, dude, that's heartbreaking. It's
Oh
just the
yeah,
fact that he
no, I
doesn't
got a little
care.
emotional.
Right. So number three, dude, the guy's just he's wacky. You know, like his double fruit is pretty cool, especially once you hit Gear 5. Gear 5 broke the internet, mind you. When that episode released, Crunchyroll was down for a few hours
Wow.
because so many people were on the server watching the Gear 5 premiere.
So when you say Gear
So,
5, are you talking about specifically like he's able to upgrade, like he upgrades his ability through training or something?
oh
Or
yeah, yeah, he's
okay, I
able to
haven't gotten that
do
far yet.
two different things. I'm not gonna spoil what it is, but
Yeah,
you
it's fine.
know,
I don't care if you did, but yeah.
oh yeah, I mean, um, it's essentially Gear 5 is he's got different transformations he can do. He does like Gear 2, which he just like makes his since he's rubber, he makes his blood pump faster. His organs and everything pump faster as it's all rubber, and it makes him move faster. Then
Huh.
Gear 3, he can like inflate himself and like make his arm bigger or whatever. Um, and then Gear
Oh,
4
so
is
was he
like
not
he
supposed to do that in the live action, blocking the cannonball?
he oh yeah. I mean he inflates himself like a balloon. He can do that, but just think
But
later,
that's
like
different
later
from
on,
Gear 3.
yeah, later on he like goes like that and just makes a giant fist.
Okay.
So it's just and then Gear 5. I mean Gear 4 is kind of like infuses his hockey, and he becomes like a just a pure bounce, and he can like fly through the air, propelling himself, with just pure force of rubber. And then Gear 5. Why are you laughing at me? And then Gear 5, he straight up becomes a cartoon character. And like everything around, he awakens his double fruit. Everything around him becomes rubber. He can just grab lightning out of the sky and just like turn it into rubber. It's pretty cool. Like you watch that fight with him and Kaido, it's kind of like it's like watching Tom and Jerry. It's dope.
Okay.
So yeah, I didn't crap on your character, Jizio. I could, but
I
I
didn't.
won't.
I didn't crap
I
on yours.
so, but hey, that I mean, we'll leave it at that. I didn't expect to go this long with this episode, but I
Yeah,
guess
whatever. We're having
it
fun.
shocked me. It was fun. So, any final thoughts? So,
Drink milk, eat your Wheaties.
We really need to stop this coughing. This sucks.
Got the
I've
back
been doing
leg.
it for 2 weeks. It just won't go away.
Yeah, me too. I don't get it. Um, but hey, as always, I do have my Surge reviews. Just go to my Instagram, Surge Gaming Reviews. I have my link tree there. You can follow all my stuff I do. I will be uploading some gameplay video of Liza P. I'll put that on our group me.
Yeah, do that because
So
I went to your. I tried to go to your Instagram after you mentioned it, and I couldn't find any of the links or anything. So I'm like, oh yeah, just I'll
it should be
pass
my
this.
link tree. I'll share my Instagram
Yeah,
with you.
send your shit, and
So
make sure you put it down below.
I subtitle this, but make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to our podcast and any of our channels if you want to see what we're doing outside of this podcast. Ray, you have your stuff too, don't you?
Yeah. YouTube is what I'm on, and I have been on for the past 4 years. I'll probably always stay there. I love it. It's I love pie spelled backwards forever. So that's EIPPBOLI. And right now we're doing Alien live stream of the entire gameplay. So if you want to come on by, vibe with that, hang out for a bit. And if you ever have any other recommendations, let me know. It's got to be on PS4. I'm broke, but I will get whatever games.
Whatever games on PS4.
Yes.
And as for me, I game on everything. So we're good there. Not so, but all right, guys. I guess that's all we have. Be sure to like and subscribe to our podcast and
And
any
comment.
else you can find us on social media. Ray, glad to see you back. Tom, good to have you again.
Indeed.
We'll have to do this again sometime. Love your inputs on stuff. So, but all right. Well, as always, stay classy, gamers, and we'll see you next week.
Deuces.